Imagine a world where Earth is split right down the middle, half land, half water. No, it's not a sci-fi movie plot. It's a curious thought experiment that could have some wild implications. Would this balance make Earth a paradise, or send it hurtling toward becoming a giant, lifeless marble in space? In this video, we're diving into the what-ifs of a perfectly split planet, how this would change the environment, ecosystems, and maybe even how we live. Grab your snorkel, because this is one deep dive you won't want to miss. Earth's current water coverage. Currently, Earth's surface is composed of approximately 71% water, most of which is concentrated in the planet's 5 oceans. These oceans form a continuous global water body that supports life in countless ways. The oceans regulate the Earth's temperature by distributing heat from the equator to the poles, helping to stabilize global weather patterns. They also store large amounts of carbon dioxide, playing a critical role in controlling the planet's climate by preventing excessive greenhouse gases from accumulating in the atmosphere. Additionally, the oceans create a rich and diverse habitat for millions of species, many of which provide food and other resources for humans. Their presence is vital for maintaining the planet's climate, supporting biodiversity, and sustaining human life. However, if Earth's oceans were reduced by a quarter, leaving behind vast stretches of new land, the planet would experience profound shifts. Would the oceans still play their critical role in regulating the climate and sustaining life? Would ecosystems adapt quickly enough to thrive in the newly created landscapes? Would humans be able to continue to depend on the oceans for food, medicine, and transportation? These are the questions that would need to be addressed as Earth's water balance shifts drastically. The drastic effects of a 50-50 land-to-water ratio. If we were to suddenly replace nearly 25% of Earth's oceans with land, the effects on the planet would be profound. The first thing we'd notice would be a significant drop in sea levels, rather than rising slightly due to global warming. The water levels would plummet by about 3 kilometers, 1.9 miles. This would drastically reshape Earth's surface, leaving the regions near the North and South Poles completely dry. The result? A radically transformed planet. New landmasses would emerge around the world, particularly in areas previously submerged underwater. This new land would roughly match the combined surface area of Asia, Europe, Africa, and North America. An enormous expanse of space that could potentially alter global human civilization. This massive land formation would not appear as pristine, untouched terrain. Instead, much of it would be relatively flat, like the deep ocean beds we are familiar with. However, there would also be steep crevices, rocky corridors, and unusual geological formations, remnants of what was once the ocean floor. The sudden appearance of so much new land would also mean the end of Earth's single global ocean. The oceans would be separated into isolated bodies of water, each cut off from one another by the newly exposed land. The dynamics of our planet's water cycle and climate regulation would change drastically. The impact on evolution and human movement. One of the most fascinating consequences of such a shift would be the effect on the movement of humans and animals across the globe. Historically, early humans spread out from Africa by walking. We didn't have ships or planes back then. Instead, we used land bridges and coastal migration routes to spread to Europe, Asia, and eventually the Americas. If Earth's continents were more connected, humans would have even more accessible land to traverse. The landscape would no longer present oceans as formidable barriers to human migration. With more land and fewer physical obstacles, humans could have journeyed across the globe on foot much more easily. This might have significantly accelerated the spread of human civilizations and the development of new cultures. While this might seem exciting, the balance of water and land could also lead to unforeseen challenges. A new interconnected landmass could foster further evolutionary changes in wildlife and humans alike. But it wouldn't be all good news. Climate instability and temperature shifts. The reduction of oceans would disrupt one of Earth's key mechanisms for regulating temperature, the ocean currents. These currents play a crucial role in redistributing heat across the planet. Warm water flows from the equator toward the poles, while colder water moves toward the equator. This distribution helps maintain stable, livable temperatures around the world. With a decrease in water volume, these currents would weaken, causing the poles to become even colder and the equator to become unbearably hot. A dramatic shift in temperature would lead to more extreme weather conditions, including harsher winters and scorching summers. But it doesn't end there. Climate change would accelerate as well. Oceans are significant carbon sinks, meaning they absorb and store large amounts of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Without oceans to soak up this greenhouse gas, the excess carbon dioxide would remain in the atmosphere, trapping heat and raising global temperatures. The Earth would begin to experience a rapid warming trend, leading to higher average temperatures and more extreme climate patterns. Moreover, with less moisture in the atmosphere, rainfall would decrease significantly. This would result in severe droughts and desertification in many inland regions. As temperatures soar and rainfall decreases, parts of the Earth that were once lush and fertile could become barren wastelands. Water scarcity and its impact on life. Another major consequence of a 50-50 split between land and water would be the growing scarcity of fresh water. With fewer oceans and less water vapor circulating in the atmosphere, access to clean water would become increasingly difficult. This scarcity would force plants, animals, and humans to adapt in drastic ways. One potential adaptation could be in the form of smaller animals that require less water to survive. Some species might even evolve to become entirely carnivorous, relying on the consumption of other animals for hydration and nutrients. For humans, the reliance on water would change drastically. Water conservation methods would become more advanced, and societies would have to find ways to use water more efficiently. Human beings might also begin to develop technologies that extract water from the air, or even desalinate the remaining bodies of water. However, these technological advancements would only be temporary fixes for the underlying issue of water scarcity. Life on a 50-50 Earth. Changes in the animal kingdom. The loss of vast ocean areas would lead to the collapse of marine ecosystems that rely on the balance of water. Species like coral reefs, fish, and marine mammals, which depend on stable ocean conditions, would struggle to survive in such a drastically altered environment. Without the expansive oceans, the intricate food chains that support these marine creatures would disintegrate. Additionally, the biodiversity that humans depend on for food sources, medicinal resources, and maintaining ecological health would face a significant decline. On land, the environmental stresses brought about by the lack of water would force many animals to adapt quickly or face extinction. Species that can't adjust to the heat or food scarcity may be pushed out of their habitats, contributing to the loss of biodiversity. While some animals might evolve to become smaller, more heat-resistant, or more energy-efficient, others would struggle to survive in this new world, resulting in a reshaping of ecosystems and a potential mass migration of surviving species to more hospitable environments. A changed human existence. For humans, the impact of a 50-50 Earth would be immediately felt in our daily lives. Our basic survival needs would be profoundly affected. The human body, which normally expels water through urine, would face a drastic shift in how it handles fluid retention. Urine, which typically consists of more than 90% water, would become much more concentrated, leading to darker, stronger-smelling urine as ammonia levels rise. This change would be a direct result of the body's efforts to conserve every drop of water in an increasingly dry world. As water becomes scarcer, humans would need to adapt by finding alternative hydration sources, employing new water management technologies, and developing systems that minimize water usage. This could lead to new innovations in agriculture, such as drought-resistant crops and water-efficient irrigation systems, but it would also force society to reconsider its relationship with water as a precious resource. While new technologies might help mitigate some challenges, the overall lifestyle shift would signal a new chapter in human history, one that demands sustainable practices and a deep rethinking of how we use Earth's dwindling resources. That's all for today's video. If you found this video fascinating as we did, Don't forget to like and subscribe, because who doesn't want more wild what-if scenarios in their life? Hit that bell icon so you never miss out on our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay curious, or you'll end up as confused as a fish on dry land. See you next time.